This is a walkthrough for this AQA GCSE Maths Paper Foundation Calculator Paper 3 from the June 2024 series. If you would like a copy of this paper, look in the notes and you can download one. You can do the questions first and watch me go through the answers to see if you have them correct. Question 1. A village has 4 bus stops. The bar chart shows information about the people at the bus stop at 3 p.m. one day. 2 people at the football ground bus stop show this information on the bar chart. So we need a bar with height 2, drawn with a ruler. How many more people were at the school bus stop? So the school bus stop is 13. Then at the post office bus stop, the post office bus stop is 4. So 13 take away 4 gives you 9. There's 9 more people were at the school bus stop than at the post office bus stop. Question 2. Here are 4 temperatures in degrees C. Write the temperatures in order, starting with the coolest. So the coolest is the smallest, -7. Then we have -5, -1, and then 3. Here are the first 3 terms in a linear sequence. Write down the next term. Let's find the common difference is 6. Add 6 on to 17, we get 23 for the next term. Describe the term-to-term rule. What are we doing to get from one term to the next? We're adding 6. So add 6. Question 4. Luca spends 71p. He pays the exact amount with 4 coins. List the coins he uses. Okay, so I'm just going to do a bit of trial and error here. Let's start with a 50p. So we've used 1 coin. So we've got 3 more coins and we need to make 21p. So we really need to use a 1p. And so we need 2 more coins. So it could be 10p, 10p. So 50p, 10p, 10p, 1p. Question 5. Complete each statement using one of these symbols. 2.54, we're comparing 2.54 and 2.508. You might want to sometimes it helps with decimals, just to fill in any missing decimals with a 0 on the right hand side of the decimal point, and then you can easily compare. 2.508 is smaller, so 2.54 is bigger than 2.508. Okay, what's a quarter as a decimal? These are one of the equivalences you should know. You should know that a quarter is equal to 0.25, so they are equal. 5/2. What's 5 divided by 2? Or what's a half of 5? As the same as 5 divided by 2? 2.5. So 2 is less than 2.5. Here are 3 solids. How many faces does the cube have? So faces is like the front face. They're like the surfaces, if that makes sense. So I think of a cube as like a dice, isn't it? So a dice has 6 faces. The answer is 6. How many edges does the square base pyramid have? Well, the edges join the corners or the vertices together. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many vertices does the cone have? Well, vertices are corners. you see it just has 1. Question 7. Here is a number machine. Input 12, take away 4, times by 5, complete the number machine. So 12, take away 4 is 8, and then 8 times 5 is 40. Here is a number machine. Complete the number machine. So what operation goes here? So I'm just going to go back along through the number machine this way. I'm going to do the opposite, the reverse operation. 9 times 2 is 18. So we'd have 18 here, because 18 divided by 2 is 9. So 7 to 18. Well, 7 times, you could have 7 times a number, but it's more likely you've gone for plus 11. 7 and 11 is 18. Divided by 2 is 9. Here's a different number machine. When x is 5, y is 13. And when x is 10, y is 28. Complete the number machine. Okay, we can just have a little guess here. So x times something, take away something is y. If x is 5, so we could do, 5 times 1 is going to be no good, and 5 times 2 gives us 10. But 5 times 3 will give you 15. And then 15 take away 2 equals 13. Let's just see if those same operations work here. So when x is 10, 10 times 3 is 30. 30 take away 2 is 28. Yes, that works. So it's times 3, take away 2. Question 8. Bag of pegs costs 40p. Bar of soap costs £2.20. Basket costs £7. Dan buys 2 packets of pegs. 2 times 40p is 80p. Or £0.8, because £1 is 100 pence. 1 bar of soap. So we've got £2.20 plus 0.8. You just need to make sure your units are the same here. If you want to work in pence, it would be 220 plus 80p. It's £3. And 1 basket. So 3 plus 7 is 10. So in total, you spent £10. What fraction of the total cost is the cost of the basket? The cost of the basket is £7. So it's £7 over £10. So 7/10 is the final answer. Calculate square root of 625 plus 7 cubed. You can work this out on your calculator. Square root of 625 is 25. 7 cubed, you can just use your power button or do 7 times 7 times 7 on your calculator, which is 343. Add them together, 368. Question 10. 8,400 fans go to a rugby match. 6,850 of the fans support the home team. Well, let's just subtract that from 8,400 to work out the away fans is 1,550. So the remaining support the away team. So let's find sorted that sentence out. 20% of the home fans wear a scarf. So what's 20% of 6,850? 20% as a decimal is 0.2 times 6,850. Is 1,370. Take that off 6,850, which gives us no would be 5,480. 2,319 of the fans wear a scarf. Aha, so in total we have 8,400 fans. Now 2,319 of the fans wear a scarf. So these two must add up to give 2,319. So let's take off 1,370. So 2,319 minus 1,370 is 949. So we've got 949 here. And then take that value off 1,550, 601. Work out the coordinates of B. So B is here. So this is 4 minus 1. You go x then y. It's got to be each square is 1. So let's just fill in these values here. So the x coordinate for B, a B minus 2. What's the y coordinate? Well, minus 1 is the y coordinate for C. So it's also going up in intervals of 1 on the y-axis. So the y coordinate is minus 1, minus 2, minus 1. Point C is reflected in the line x equals 6 to point D. Work out the coordinates of point D. So this point C here is 2 away from the mirror line, so we need to go 2 away in the opposite direction. This is point D. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 across, 1 down, so 8 minus 1. Question 12. Liz records the distance of some runs and the time each run takes. The scatter graph shows some of the information from the table. Complete the graph by adding the missing label and plotting the 2 missing points. So the missing label on your x-axis is time is the y-axis, so distance, kilometres is your x-axis. Must have the units to get the mark here. Plotting the 2 missing points, which I assume are at the end here. Yes, they are. So 838 and 8.542. It's going up. Each little box is 1 on your y-axis. So 8 is here. And 38, 35, 6, 7, 8 is here. And we've got 8.542. 8.5 is directly in the middle of 8 and 9. And then 42 here. Describe the correlation shown in the graph. Positive, because as the x values are increasing, so with the y's, as the distance increases, so does the time. Strength of correlation, yeah, I'd say it was fairly strong, because if you drew a line, the line of best fit in, all the points be fairly close to the line. AB is a straight line. Is y half of x? Okay, let's work out what x and y are first. Angles on a straight line add up to 180. 180 take away 127 is 53. Angles around a point add to 360. This right angle means this is 90 degrees. 90 add, well, let's just take everything off of 360. 360 minus 90 minus 163. 107. So is y half of x? Well, half of 107. So in your calculator, just do 107 divided by 2. It's 53.5. So no, I have enough work in there to support my answer. Multiply out 3 bracket 2x plus 8. So we're times in everything inside the bracket by 3. 3 times 2x is 6x. Add 3 times 8, 24. Complete these statements. What do I add to 5x to get 9x? 4x. Y times by itself is y squared. And what do I take off 2t to get t? 3t. 3t, take away 2t is t, got 1t. Tins of beans are sold in shop A and shop B. Shop A, you've got 1 tin is 64p. Buy 4 tins for the price of 3. Shop B, 1 tin is 62p. Pack of 3 tins, £1.70. 10% reduction in price on all packs. Which shop is it cheaper to buy 20 tins? Okay, so let's just deal with shop A first. 4 tins for the price of 3. Well, how many 4s go into 20? 5, because you've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So we're only, every time we buy 4 cans, we're getting 1 free. We're only paying for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots of 3, which is 15. So what's the price of 15 tins? 15 times 64p is 960 pence. Divide it by 100 to convert to pounds, £9.60. Okay, so for shop B, you can either buy 1 tin by itself for 62 pence or a pack of 3 tins for £1.70. 10% reduction in the price on all packs. So you only get 10% reduction on these, okay? So the pack of 3 tins is already cheaper than buying 3 tins. If you bought 3 tins at 62p, it would cost you 62 times 3, which is £1.86, 186p. We want as many packs of 3 tins to get to our 20 tins as we can. So you've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. If we take another one, it would take us to 21. So we can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lots of your packs of 3 tins. 6 times £1.70 then. Is £10.20. Okay, but we do get 10% reduction in price on all the packs of tins, with like the pack of 3. So 10% of 10.2 or £10.20. We need to divide £10.20 by 10. You can use your calculator for this. It's 1.02. So 10% reduction means that's the money off. So £10.20 minus £1.02. Is £9.18. But we also need our 2 tins at 62p. So, because we've only got 18 tins here so far, 62 times 2 is 124p. or £1.24. Let's add that to the £9.18. Again, just use your calculator. It's a calculator paper. £10.42. So which is cheaper? Shopee. State how much. So to find out how much, we just need to do a subtraction. £10.42 minus £9.60. 82 pence or 0.82. I'll just leave mine in pounds, but if you want to do it in pence, it'd be 82 pence. Okay, question 17a. There are 30 students in a class. 12 of the students have school lunch. Work out the ratio of students having school lunch, which is 12, to students not having school lunch. Well, what's 30 take away 12? 18. So it'd be 12 to 18, but it says give your answer in its simplest form. So what's a common factor of 12 and 18? It's 6. So let's divide 3 by 6. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 18 divided by 6 is 3. So the answer is 2 to 3. In a different class, students wearing glasses to students not wearing glasses is 3 to 8. What fraction of students in this class wear glasses? So, like, the total amount of parts here is 3 plus 8, which is 11. So what fraction of students in this class wear glasses? So it will be 3/11. The ratio 4 to 9 is written in the form 1 to n. Work out the value of n. So I need to have 1 on the left-hand side of this ratio. How do I make 4 into 1? I divide by 4, so I need to divide 9 by 4. 9 divided by 4 is 2.25, so it's 1 to 2.25. N is 2.25. Here are the first 3 patterns in a sequence made up of small squares. Pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3. Draw pattern 4. So it's 1 by 1 square in the middle, 2 by 2, 3 by 3. So the next one is going to be 4 by 4. And then we have a square at each end. This should really be drawn with a ruler, just would take me a long time. (18b). The expression for the number of small squares in each pattern is n squared plus 4. Work out the least number of n for which the number of small squares is greater than 500. Now, you could use like a trial and error method for this, really. You could guess values of n until you get the smallest one. I'm going to use it as an equation. So let's take 4 off both sides to find n. N squared is equal to 496. Taken 4 off this left-hand side and 4 off this right-hand side. I'm going to square root, because square root is the opposite of squaring. You can see 22.2, which means the smallest n would be 23. Let's just check it. What's 23 squared plus 4? 23 squared plus 4, type that in my calculator, is 533. Just to show you why 22 would be too small, 22 squared plus 4 gives you 488, which is smaller than 500, so n is 23. Use Pythagoras' theorem to work out the value of x. Give your answer as a decimal. So Pythagoras' theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A and B do not matter. C has to be the hypotenuse opposite your right angle. So 31 squared plus 24 squared is equal to x squared. 31 squared is 961. 24 squared, 576. I'm going to add them together. Square root both sides. Give your answer as a decimal, 39.2. Doesn't actually state how many decimal places, so as long as you include at least one decimal here. Rick claims most of the flats in his 8-floor building are energy efficient. He samples 45 flats from floors 1 to 5. Give a reason why this sample may not be useful in testing Rick's claim. So, well, he only used floors 1 to 5, so this is not representative of all flats. Or something else along the lines of he didn't take into account flats on other floors. Okay, we've got 3 bracket x minus 1. We've got these, there's like triple lines. 3x minus 3 is an identity. That's what those 3 lines mean. Tick one box. So is true for all values of x. It's true for some values of x. It is true for no values of x. Well, it's true for all values of x because they mean the same thing. That's the whole point of an identity. Question 22. K hires a digger. The cost per day is £24.50 for the first 5 days, reduced by 20% for day 6, the same as day 6 for day 7 onwards. The total cost is £259.70. For how many days did K hire the digger? You must show what you're working out. So what's £24.50 times 5 first of all? So that's your standard cost for 5 days. Is £122.50. I need to take that off of my the total, £259.70. Again, just use your calculator. Gives us £137.20. Okay, well, we need to work out now how many more days you hire the digger for. This value is reduced by 20% for day 6 onwards. So all those other days will be priced at 20% less of £24.50. So what's 20% of £24.50? 20% as a decimal is 0.2. 0.2 times £24.50. £4.10. It's a 20% reduction, so I need to do £24.50 minus £4.90. £19.60 per day. So we need to work out how many £19.60s there are in £137.20. So in total, how many days did K hire the digger? So it's those 5 days plus those 7 days is 12. It's 12 days. Question 23. Front elevation of a cuboid is shown on this centimetre grid. The volume of the cuboid is 42 centimetres cubed. Draw the side elevation. So what's the area of the front of the cuboid? It's 3 by 2. 3 by 2 is 6. So we know that 6 times like the depth for the length or how far it goes back is equal to 42. 42 divided by 6 is 7. So like the depth that goes back, like almost 7 centimetres. So if it goes back 7 centimetres, we're looking at it from the side, the length is going to be 7. And height would remain the same at 2. So you need to draw a 2 by 7 rectangle. On Monday, Lars swims 50 metres in 40 seconds at a constant speed. On Tuesday, Lars swims 1.5 kilometres. Assume he swims at the same constant speed as on Monday. How many minutes does he swim on Tuesday? Well, first of all, hopefully you've noticed we've got inconsistent units here. So I'm just going to get them consistent first. I'm going to get them both into metres. 1 kilometre is 1,000 metres. So 1.5 times 1,000 will give us our distance in metres. 1,500. Okay, so Lars swims 50 metres in 40 seconds. I'm going to work out his speed per second. So you need to divide it by 40, right? Because it's 50 metres, that's not min, 50 metres in 40 seconds. If I divide it by 40, here it's going to tell me the distance he goes in 1 second. So it's 1.50 divided by 40 is 1.25 metres per second. So that's his speed, basically. We've worked out the speed there. So on Tuesday, he wants to go a distance of 1,500 metres, and his speed is 1.25 metres per second. So we could use a speed distance time triangle here to work out his time, in seconds at least. If you're familiar with these, it's speed distance time. Speed is 1.25, distance 1,500. To get the time, because you've got one above the other, we need to divide. So 1,200 seconds. But we need to get that into minutes. 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So let's divide that by 60. Gives us 20 minutes. In fact, on Tuesday, Lars swims at a slower constant speed than on Monday. What does this mean about the number of minutes he swims for on Tuesday? Well, it's going to take him longer, isn't it? So it's going to be, if it's going to take him longer, it's going to be greater than the answer in part A. 4 people are taking part in a television talent show. Here are Amy's marks from the 6 judges. Pie chart represents the phone vote. Amy's total score is found by 4 times the mean of her marks, add her percentage on the phone votes. We need to get the mean of her marks first. To get the mean, we add up all these values and divide by the amount. So the total is 8 plus 9 plus 9 plus 6 plus 9 plus 10, 51. 51 divided by 6 is 8.5, but it's 4 times the mean marks, which is 34, plus her percentage of the phone vote. Okay, so what's her percentage of the phone votes? So it's Amy. Oh, she did definitely receive a lot of the phone votes. She got 162 degrees. What's this out of? Well, a full pie chart is out of 360 degrees. So kind of that's the proportion as a fraction of the people who voted for Amy, which gives us 0.45. What we need to change that to a percentage, right? So we need to times it by 100, which is 45%. So 34 plus 45, 79. Amy's total score. House prices on a street increased by 5.1% per each year. Show after 14 years, the house prices on the street will be at least double. Okay, so you need to think about this as a multiplier. So when you increase something by 5.1%, you've got all of it, which is 100%, add the 5.1%. So increasing something by 5.1% is the same as finding 105.1% or something. Now, what is that as a multiplier? What is that as a decimal? Let's divide it by 100 to get 1.051. So after 14 years, so we need to put a power here of 14, because each year we're timesing it by 1.051. Gives us 2.00649, which 2 shows it's doubled. Okay, last question, question 27. Town A has a population of 84,000, an area of 7 square miles. Town B has a population density of 4,695 people per square mile. Population density equals population over area. Which town has a greater population density? 1 square mile equals 2.6 square kilometres. Okay, because this is in square kilometres, we want to convert 7 square miles into square kilometres. We're going to do that by timesing it by 2.6. 7 times 2.6 is 18.2. So that's 18.2 square kilometres. So the population density is population over area. So 84,000 divided by 18.2. $4,615.4. So town B has the greater population density.